My name is Ashley, and today I will be talking about the risks of eating animal products. Meat is slowly but surely killing us. I feel that there is a problem among America that is impacting the rest of the world in a negative way, and that is through our consumption of meat. People all over the world are dying, while America is at the highest rate of obesity throughout the entire country. Our obesity comes solely from what we eat, how much we eat, and our poor habits of eating and lack of sufficient exercise. There have been numerous studies proving the risks of eating too much meat, which result in alarming statistics with human lives at risk. Every 2.3 seconds, someone from around the world dies of malnutrition and starvation. That is 38,000 people a day and 20 million people a year. Malnutrition and starvation are related to America's meat consumption because the livestock from around the world eat up to 70% of grains produced, taking away this valuable resource from all that goes into those who are starving, taking away this valuable resource from all that goes to those who are starving and ultimately suffering and death. Mexico and Brazil are among the main examples of how our consumption of meat influences their malnutrition and starvation. Both of these countries have set aside a majority of their land to raise and produce animal products. All the water and energy that is being put into the livestock is ultimately being taken away from their civilians and hurting them more than it is helping them. The consumption of meat has also been a major factor in death among the world, especially in America. The most common cause of death in America is heart disease. A man who consumes meat is at a 50% higher chance of death due to a heart attack, whereas someone who doesn't consume meat, dairy products, or eggs is only at a 4% chance. Some diseases that can be helped and even cured with a low-fat diet or removing all animal products are arthritis, breast cancer, diabetes, asthma, gallstones, and much more. When you eat meat, you are increasing your chances of death by heart attack by 50% and the risk of cancer by 40%. Animal products are not only bad for us because they cause these sicknesses and problems among America, but their overall quality of the production of animal products is decreasing rapidly. The 1985 National Academy of Sciences declared the federal inspection of meat inadequate, increasing the rate of meat-related diseases more and more each year. Further, it has been noted that only 1/3 of chickens are inspected for salmonella. In the years 2009 to 2010, there were over 1,527 outbreaks of foodborne diseases, resulting in 29,444 cases of illness, 1,184 hospitalizations, and 23 deaths. Yes, meat might be a good source of protein, but there are also many alternatives to the consumption of meat. Even though the reduction of meat consumption will take away many jobs, this industry will never be completely gone, and neither will those jobs. But the health and well-being of all those around the world is an important thought to always keep in mind. The problem of deaths and illnesses can be reduced and even stopped. People just need to reduce the amount of meat in which they consume by substituting it with something else. There are a variety of different foods that can also provide us with good sources of protein, such as potatoes, which provide 11% of their calories in the form of protein, zucchini, which has 2%, wheat, 17%, lettuce, 34%, tomatoes, 18%, and broccoli, which has 40% of its calories coming from protein. Meat, chicken, and dairy products are among the leading causes of saturated fat and cholesterol in the American diet. But little do people realize that the human body doesn't need any additional cholesterol added to it. We make our own, and too much of anything is a bad thing. People are also under the misconception that we need meat in order to be strong. However, there has only been one man to win the Ironman Triathlon more than once, and that was Dave Scott, who is and has been a vegetarian throughout his entire career. He has now won the triathlon 6 times and also achieved a world record. By reducing our consumption of meat, we can gain so much more from the land used in the production and also save many lives. 1 pound of hamburger meat can make up to 8 loaves of bread, 24 plates of spaghetti, and even save as much as 2,500 gallons of water. Last year alone, the United States consumed over 25 billion pounds of meat, which is over 62 trillion gallons of water going into the production of this meat, which is also equivalent to filling the second deepest lake in the United States, Lake Tahoe, twice. The land that is being used to raise cattle could ultimately produce more if it were growing different fruits and vegetables. The United States uses 64% of its land to raise cattle and other various animals, but only 2% of the land is used to raise berries, beans, and vegetables. 1 acre of land can produce up to 250 pounds of meat, but that same land can also produce 5,000 pounds of cherries or even 60,000 pounds of celery. By simply reducing our meat intake by 10%, we can save 100 million people using those additional resources for the livestock now available for land and water. Although it is not realistic for people to give up meat completely, any reduction of meat will achieve better results and reduce the risks of diseases and death dramatically. Meatless Monday is a great example of how reducing our meat consumption has worked and benefited many people. Meatless Monday is how it sounds. Every Monday you refrain from eating meat or any other animal product. In doing so, you can limit your cancer risk, reduce your heart disease close to 19%, fight diabetes, help prevent obesity, improve your health, and ultimately live longer. If we continue at the rate of consumption we are on, we can only expect more problems in America. We will have a higher rate of obesity, and there will be many more health issues than there are today. All these facts prove that by reducing or eliminating America's meat consumption, we can ultimately benefit us all. I challenge you to cut out meat from your diet for a minimum of 1 day a week, whether it be Meatless Monday or any other day of the week. In time, you will start to see results. Maybe not immediately in yourself, but in the overall well-being of you and your family and the world around us. We can improve lives, reduce our carbon footprint, minimize the amount of water being used in the production of meat, and help to reduce the health issues resulting from all the fossil fuels that is used in the production of meat. Ultimately, by reducing the meat consumption in America, we can not only help ourselves in the long run, but also America as a whole, and the entire world around us who is suffering from our actions.